The horse didn't lose his strength in battle. He lost it while chewing soft grass. In a dusty trade town surrounded by hills and long caravan roads lived a cart driver who was not rich but deeply trusted. Spice merchants, grain sellers, and traveling traders depended on his deliveries because he never failed them. His reputation was built on reliability, but his true wealth was not money. It was a powerful black horse who carried his entire livelihood on its back. The horse was enormous, with a broad chest, thick neck, and eyes sharp as polished stone. He pulled the heaviest carts across steep, unforgiving roads without ever needing a whip. At sunrise, he stood ready before being called, and by sunset he returned drenched in sweat, yet filled with quiet pride. Children ran behind the cart shouting in excitement, and merchants would often say that if this horse pulled it, it would surely arrive. He was not just an animal, he was the backbone of survival. But strength repeated daily begins to feel like punishment. One evening, as the harness was removed, the horse's breathing was rougher than usual. In the silent language animals speak through presence and feeling, he wondered why he must always carry weight while others walked freely. The cart driver gently pressed his forehead against the horse's and whispered, "Because you can." It was meant as praise, but to the horse it felt like a life sentence. Something small and bitter settled deep inside him. Months passed and business improved. The cart driver saved enough money to buy a second horse, younger and lighter, full of restless energy. The new horse was fast but inexperienced, his muscles sharp yet untested by long journeys. Responsibilities were shifted. The older horse was moved to the back stable near the river, where the rope was longer, the workload lighter, and the days slower. At first he felt insulted. Didn't he earn his place? Didn't he prove himself by working hard for many years? But gradually the quiet mornings began to feel pleasant. There was no shouting in the market, no steep climbs, no crushing loads. The grass near the river was softer than anywhere else in town, the water cooler and the breeze gentler. What felt strange in the first week became comfortable in the second. By the third week, he began waking later than before. Each evening, the younger horse returned covered in sweat and dust, muscles trembling from effort. From the shade, the older horse watched and felt something dangerous rise inside him: relief. He convinced himself that he had suffered enough and deserved this peace. Comfort felt like a warm blanket around him. But if you stay under a blanket for too long, you forget how to face the cold. Seasons shifted quietly. His once firm muscles began to soften, and his breathing grew heavier during even short trots. His powerful legs trembled slightly when asked to run. The cart driver noticed the change. One night, under the dim glow of a lantern, he stood watching the horse struggle to canter across the yard before stopping midway, winded and unsettled. A person who stops facing challenges forgets how to stay strong. The horse heard the words, but comfort speaks in softer tones. It says you are safe, that you have done enough, that tomorrow will take care of itself. And so he ignored the warning. Then storm season arrived earlier than expected. Dark clouds rolled over the hills, and a wealthy trader placed a massive order that had to be delivered before the mountain roads flooded. The payment would secure the cart driver's future for years. But something unexpected happened. During training on whetstone, the younger horse slipped and injured his leg badly. There was no time to hire another animal and no room for delay. The cart driver stood before the older horse as rain tapped against the stable roof. For a long moment, neither moved. "You are still strong?" the driver said quietly. The horse lifted his head and something old stirred in his chest. Pride mixed with urgency. This was his chance to prove he was still needed. The cart was loaded heavily, heavier than he remembered. As rain intensified, the wooden wheels creaked under pressure, and the road up the mountain turned into thick, clinging mud. At first he pushed forward steadily, but with each step his hooves sank deeper. Halfway up the hill, his chest started to burn, and he lost his steady pace. His legs shook violently as he searched his memory for the power he once commanded. Strength is not kept in your memories, It grows through discipline, and he had not been disciplined for many months. It blurred his vision as the cart dragged harder behind him. A sharp pain tore through his chest, and suddenly his legs collapsed beneath him. The cart tilted backward, crates shattered, and spices spilled into the mud, turning bright colors into useless paste. The cart driver rushed to his side, kneeling in despair and pleading for him to stand. The horse tried with all the energy he had left, but the strength he thought was still there was already gone. Comfort had not protected him. It had slowly taken his place. The loss was very painful. All the savings were used to pay debts. People in the town began to whisper that they had depended too much on one animal. Days later, a livestock trader arrived, and there was no choice left. The horse was sold. Not to a rich man or a rider, but to a brick factory beyond the hills. As he was led away, he passed the younger horse in the stable, watching silently with uncertain eyes. In that moment, a cruel understanding settled in. Hard work had once protected his value, but comfort had erased it. The brick factory was full of smoke and constant heat. There were other horses there, some limping, some staring blankly into nothing. None of them had fallen in battle or been defeated by storms. They had simply grown soft. One night, beneath a sky darkened by ash instead of stars, he remembered the words spoken under the lantern about a body that stops being tested. He had not been replaced because he was old. He had been replaced because he had become unnecessary. And in a world built on effort, unnecessary things do not survive long. Final message. Comfort feels like a reward, but if it lasts too long, it leads to weakness. Avoiding struggle does not protect your future. It weakens it silently. Hard work is heavy, discipline is tiring, and responsibility often feels unfair, but they are shields that protect your strength and value. The day you choose comfort over effort, you are not just resting, you are slowly fading away.